I have not seen my biological mother since 2015. Get unready with me and let's talk about Mother's Day. Has it really been since 2015? I do feel that I saw her for a total of 10 minutes in like 2020 maybe, but for like a proper visit, sit down chat, it has definitely been since 2015. And that's kind of wild to say out loud. I have not seen my father in person since 2019. And woof, this does not sound normal at all. So you're probably wondering, like, why Kaisha? I don't talk about this a lot on the internet, mainly because I don't enjoy trauma dumping. I never want to be that person that is monetizing their trauma. It doesn't feel good to me. However, I do think that there are a lot of people who can relate to what I can share on this topic, and I ultimately want people to know that they aren't alone. So that's why I'm deciding to share about it today. Also, I really want to find a line of me sharing my story versus me sharing someone else's business. I want to be respectful for the people in my life who this story involves, because while it is my story, I also share this story with other people. So I never want to like sign people up for judgment they didn't ask for. But to tell you in short, I didn't grow up with my parents, my biological parents, in the traditional sense. Both of my parents, unfortunately, were addicts. And so they thought it best for me to be raised by my grandparents and my aunt so that I could be cared for. And ultimately, that was the best decision. But whenever we get to Mother's Day or whenever we get to Father's Day, I have the most complicated of feelings because I look at everyone else celebrating their traditional households and family structures, and I just simply don't have that. Every time these different holidays comes up, you know, there are a whirlwind of emotions that I kind of go through. And I have to say, this year I did pretty well. Like, I had a moment earlier in the day and then I shook it off and I did well. I think that as you get older, you start to see things a different way. You start to grow. You start to realize that what you thought a thing was may not be how you will always see it. You know, there's been a lot of my life where I've been frustrated with my parents for not being the parents that I needed them to be. And sometimes being a good parent, I think, is knowing when you can't be a parent. And because they knew that, more or less, there's a part of me that has respect for that decision, right? Because I think my life would be completely different if they had tried to raise me. And so there's a part of me that's grateful that they did not try and didn't like try to stumble through that, because again, my life would be very, very different. And ultimately, I did grow up in a loving home. So for that, I am grateful. I think one of the reasons why I am so hyper independent is because I have had to figure out a lot of things on my own at times, because I don't want to feel like a burden. I don't want to, ask for help. It's a whole thing. And that's something that I'm really working through, because there's often times where I really do need help and could really use support, and I don't ask for it because I feel like I don't have my own parents that I could rely on. Something that I've said a lot over the past decade is I don't have a plan B. I don't have parents that I can move back home with. And, in all actuality, that phrase is like maybe 80% true. I do have family, friends, and a support system that if I truly needed a plan B that I could utilize, but that would be the last thing that I would want to do. I mean, I would literally exhaust every other resource before I ever had to use that option. And I think that just says a lot about where my brain is with this. So while some of this has definitely made me a hard worker, very driven, determined, disciplined, all those things, it also has created a little bit of a hyper independent monster that has trouble asking for help. I'm at a place where I can admit it. Like, I know that I should be asking for help more often than I do, but I often am let down, if I'm just being honest. Sometimes I ask for help and I will be specific in my ask, but I don't get back what I actually receive. So like, I process that as, see, I shouldn't have asked you. Listen, my therapist is working with me. Don't you worry. And trust me, I'm in the therapy. Okay. Because I think that that's really important. And I think honestly that has helped me a lot as I have gone through this process of trying to navigate. I just don't think that I realized that as I grow up, I would still have a desire to have relationships with my parents. I don't know if there was a part of me in my youth that I just kind of gave up and I was like, you know what? Oh, well, I'm just never going to have it. But as I get older, I still need guidance. I still need support. Sometimes I just want a shoulder to cry on or someone to tell me like, yo, Kaisha, everything is going to be okay. You can do this. You're brilliant. You're smart. Sometimes I just need that. And I mean, if I'm just being honest, somebody could send me $2,500 every once in a while. I mean, that would be nice. I mean, genuinely, like, it would just be so great if sometimes I had that. And so there's a part of me that is always sad for myself, sad for the younger version of me, and then sad for the adult version of me. And if I'm just being honest, I think this has also impacted how I feel about having kids, because since I didn't have a traditional home structure, I'm like, can I build it? Now, my therapist did get me all the way together on this, right? She was like, Kaisha, let's be so for real. Everything you do, you try to do to the best of your ability. So why do you think you would take having kids any differently than you do anything else in your life? And I was like, you know what? You ate with that one, sis. You ate with that one. She's not wrong. And with that, I have tried to be super, super intentional about taking that step with my husband, because I ultimately don't want to raise a kid who will then feel like I resent them or that I have not healed myself enough to actually be their parent. And so that is super, super important to me. These are a lot of the things that I feel like I don't hear people talking about. People, like, I just feel like I'm seeing pregnancy announcement after pregnancy announcement. People like, yeah, I'm having a baby. And I'm like, you ain't scared? Like, you ain't nervous at all? Like, you good? Okay, cool, 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 cool. So it's just me. I'm broken. Okay, cool. I just think that being a parent is such a huge responsibility, and I feel like it should be taken with the utmost care, intention, thought, concern, all the things. Because I don't think that my parents were thinking about me when they had me. You know what I mean? I really think I was just the result of a good time. Okay. Like, I really don't think they thought, let's have a baby, let's raise her and do all the things for, I don't think they were thinking that way. And so there's a part of me that really wishes they would have. And I just think that if you're going to take that step in a relationship, you really need to be sure, you need to be ready. And it's a hard thing to know if you're ready for it, because being a parent is so permanent. It's permanent in a different way than marriage. It's just something, it's a role that you will have for the rest of your life. And I think there's a part of me that continues to mourn that I don't have that relationship with my parents, and also wonders, if I were to become a parent, can I sustain a healthy relationship with a child, even though I've never had that? So, you know, baby, we're working through things over here, okay? We really are trying to figure that out, because I don't want to make any crazy mistakes. I mean, this is someone's life that we are talking about. It's also my life that we are talking about. I was supposed to be getting unready this whole time. I got to talk and I stopped getting unready. So let me take this makeup off, just so y'all know. These makeup wipes are the ones that I use all the time. These are simple cleansing wipes. I love them down. I'm trying to work on only using one when I take my makeup off. And truly I can. I just sometimes have trouble getting my lip off if I have on a red lip especially. And so sometimes I will kind of need to. But really, I should just use one and then wash my face. So today was the last day of the Webby Awards Creator Weekend. Today was day 2. It was so good. Like, genuinely, I really enjoyed the sessions, and even more so, I just enjoyed being in community with people. I think one of the things that I really need as a creator is more consistent community. Sometimes I feel crazy for the dreams that I have as a creator. Like, I be feeling like I'm just out here on an island and I'm, you know, just really just shooting for the stars here. And in that room, I felt like I belonged. I felt like I had a bunch of people around me who also share big, gigantic dreams and who could kind of get where I was coming from on things. And I just really needed that. I think in general, a lot of human beings are really thirsting for community, are thirsting for third spaces. I mean, I know I am. I love my online community. I love connecting with people digitally, but I feel like this has taken over in a way. Like, I have lost the in-person community that I once had. And I really feel like I haven't had it since before the pandemic. And with how my life is set up, like, I do see people, but I feel like I don't have enough intentional time with people, with friends. And so that is something that I feel like I really, really need to work on, because I need it. I need it and I miss it. The mug is clean. Okay, so we're about to put on this. What is this even? If I'm just being honest with you, half the products I have, I don't know what they do. But I know I like how they make my face feel. And so that is always my guiding light. This is a like vitamin C essence. I am obsessed with this. I usually put this on my face every day before like my normal skincare in the morning. I don't always do it at night, because if I'm being honest with you, my skincare routine at night has been really suspect. Like, I have not been doing my skincare properly, and I'm like, girl, you want to keep, if you want the black not to crack, you got to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And I truly have not been doing that. So we're doing it today. And I think that that's a big theme of like my life this year. A big theme of it is, how can I take better care of myself, my mind, my body, my spirit? I feel like I talked about in my last like Diary of a Micro-Influencer video, like how I'm working on my health and fitness. And specifically with my health, I think I might have mentioned that I have been meeting with a nutritionist. So I am working through that process of like trying to balance all of my different levels, because I'm like iron deficient and vitamin D deficient and vitamin B deficient. And so I'm trying to fix those deficiencies so that I can feel better, but also like mentally, I'm trying to do things so that I can also feel better. And so I think one of the things that would really like benefit me is making sure that I do take time to do something as simple as my skincare. Let's do this together. So I think this goes over my mouth. Let's see how I talk after this, but hello. Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. Oh. Oh, this feels nice though. Hello. I know I probably look a little frightening, but I do like how this feels. It says, after cleansing, prepare the skin with toner or serum. I did that, and I didn't even read the instructions first, and I did that. Open the pouch and remove the film at the bottom of the mask. Align it with your mouth. I did that. Remove the film on the top of the mask. Align it with your eyes and attach it. Leave it on for at least 3 to 4 hours or until it turns transparent. 3 to 4 hours. I was going to leave this on for 20 minutes. Listen, I'm going to try to get the most out of it that I can. I was definitely not planning for 3 to 4 hours, but that's okay. You know, maybe next time we'll do 3 to 4. But right now, I think a solid 20 is going to be what we have, because I have things I got to do tonight. I got to edit. Yeah, speaking of editing, I'm really trying to get a handle on my content creation ecosystem. I'm trying to plan things better so that I can have more margin to focus on things that I really want to focus on. A big theme for me this year is ownership and figuring out how I can spend more time doing things or creating things that I actually own, that actually build my creative empire. Don't get me wrong, being on YouTube, being on Instagram, being on TikTok, all of those things build my brand, but I also want to be building something outside of social media that I own. And so I'm trying to figure out my ecosystem for all the things that I have to do to pay my bills so that I can have the creative freedom to be building things that are mine. And so it's a journey. We're trying to figure it out. I will have to share more about that in the next video. But if you like this Get Unready with me, do let me know by leaving a comment. I don't know if I knew how hard it was going to be to talk with this on my face. It's actually not that hard. It's not that hard. I just look crazy, but it's not that hard. So if you like this kind of video, let me know. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when I upload new videos, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.